Hi, my name is Aiden Parsons, and this is my open source contribution project. So the project that I contributed to was it's called OnLook, and it's basically a Webflow alternative. So it allows you to improve front-end development workflow. The issue that I chose for this was that upon startup, the window, which is basically like where this is where you would run your React app, is off center, and reopen it. So you can see once it starts up, when it first starts up, the window is on center, right? But if we move it off center and then close it and then reopen it, the window stays off center. Um, and then you can see even if we quit this and reopen it, this persists. So yeah, definitely kind of like an aesthetic thing here, but still important for a polished final look for the app. And this is done through a web view, this inner window. And this is basically what manages the larger container that this web view is moving inside of, the canvas. Um, and what was going on was you see here the scale is set to just whatever the previous scale was. So this means that whenever you close the whenever you close the app and reopen it, the scale that gets used is whatever was the scale that was in place when it was last closed, and that scale gets like stored in the cache. So you would have to clear the cache to reset the scale. And that's actually what was going on here too before I made these changes with this similar line of code setting the position of the web view, right? So what I did was I basically just changed this so that it wasn't using the previous state. So it wasn't using the previous scale. And I could have also made it so that the scale upon startup was constant, but that wasn't a part of the issue description. And I didn't want to, get out of my scope here. But yeah, so I take the inner width of the window and the inner height of the window and do a little math here. And I found this 1536 and 960 times the scale. The scale represents like basically what scale it is compared to uh these original dimensions. I found that in the constants.ts file, which gets linked at the top here through like a different file. Uh I believe it was the use editor engine. Then that links to this constants.ts, and that's how I found these values. So yeah, just maintain them uh through to here, and then I use them to set the position. And so what you'll be able to see is when I run the version that I had in my fork. So as you can see, I have it running here. It's just saying this because I'm not actually running like a real uh React script or anything like that. So look, I move this around over here, close it, reopen, it's back in the center. Move it here, close it, reopen, and it's back to the center. Thing that did turn out the way I expected, I guess, was that I guess just the way the communication went. I just submitted my thing for the issue and I was very quickly assigned it. Um, and because I followed all the documentation within the repo, I didn't really into any issues there. What did not work was that I kind of dove into it without really like doing background research into Electron or like React or TypeScript. So I didn't really know what I was getting, like what I was doing when I was first perusing the directory. And that resulted in a lot of trial and error that I think could have been lessened. Some unexpected problems were that honestly, for a while, I was just at a loss. And the way I overcame them was, like I said, I went back and I read through the documentation, and then I finally managed to find like the right file and like what was going on with that file. And there also just wasn't a whole lot of, I couldn't find a whole lot of documentation for like what individual things did anyway. Um, and yeah, what I will do different in the future is and what I learned is I'm just always going to read like tutorials if there's technological aspects that I'm unclear about.